My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Friday. Juma Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. We're wrapping up the week, but we're beginning a brand new month. As the president said, pray for Ghana. And pray for him to also complete his term as he says so. And pray that we'll continue to have hope and trust. And also pray that the president will listen when the citizens talk. That the president will listen when the citizens talk, because he asks us to be citizens, not spectators. And that when we speak, we should not be treated as spectators, but we should be treated as citizens. And that we should be considered as key stakeholders in the governance of this country. That we are worthy partners in the progress of this country. We are not enemies of the state, of the regime. And that if the things that we are saying had been listened to, as is now being said by certain spokespersons of certain persons who want to lead the NPP and become flag bearer, we would not have been where we are. So the things that we said in the past are being said now, and they are being listened to because they have electoral consequences. Maybe ours didn't have electoral consequences. Now, in Cameroon and in Rwanda, changes have been made in the hierarchy of the military. People have been moved around. And that is because of what happened in Gabon, where the president, Mr. Bongo, says, oh, we should make some noise. We should make some noise. He's asking us to make some noise. When the people were making noise, he didn't listen to the people. Now he's asking us to make noise. But particularly in Cameroon, you know something? There's the president in Cameroon called Mr. Paul Biya. That's Black Rasta's favorite friend. He actually has composed a song for him. If you look for that song and listen to it. When Sixtus and I were in primary school, and we were studying social studies and cultural studies, they taught us that the president of Cameroon was Paul Biya, correct? We did what you know quizzes on the man, Paul Biya. Then we went to JSS. Paul Biya was still president. We have gone to secondary school. Paul Biya is still president. We have gone to the university, done first degree, have gone to do second degree. Paul Biya is still president. We have had children. And our children are even now in school. We attend PTAs on their behalf. We have worked for more than a decade. Paul Biya is still president. So what exactly does Paul Biya want? And that's a question that the African youth are asking African presidents. What do African presidents really want? And why do they get in and refuse to go out? That's the question. Take me to Gabon. Show me the stash of cash that was found in the home, I'm told, of the chief of staff of the president of Gabon. That's enough noise. Enough noise. Just show me the video. Enough noise. Right? Various, what do you call it, denominations and currencies. Enough noise. Enough noise. And you see, corruption is fighting back. Because in those places where these stash of cash were found, the man who supervised this stashing of cash is asking for people to make noise. Meanwhile, he is not well. And in any serious country, he would have taken a backbench. But no, he's seen look at the cash in the bag. Maybe some of the bags look familiar. Look at it. Just look at it. The politicians will ask us to keep our monies in the bank, and they keep monies at home. Because these monies, for whatever reason, I don't know how much the chief of staff of Gabon earns. But for one man to have had this at home, and if it had not been because of the coup, nobody would have known. Or maybe people knew, but nobody would have gone in there to go and collect these monies. And yet you have people in Gabon who are hungry. You have people in Cameroon who are hungry. So what kind of democracy are we practicing? Paul Biya was there when we had OAU. He is still president when we have AU. I'm sure that even if we take the A and leave just the U, he still wants to be president. Paul Biya. Now, yesterday, the court in Accra ruled that the office of the special prosecutor should, as a matter of urgency, that's within 7 days, return everything else. Please put Madam Ziladapa's photo there. The court has given a ruling in her favor that, look, OSP, give the woman back her money. How much are we talking about? $590,000 US. Over 2.7 million in excess of that Ghana cedis. And some other effects and other things, other properties. The court says within 7 days, give the woman back her things, because OSP, you were acting on public sentiments, you had not done a good job and all of that. So, former sanitation minister, the court says your money should be given to you, but the OSP says no. The court erred. We disagree with the court, and I'll read the release to you in a bit. That they disagree with the court on the orders to return the monies and freeze the accounts and the assets and everything else. So what did the OSP say? Here's the OSP statement. It says the Office of the Special Prosecutor commenced investigation in the 3rd week of July 2023 in respect of suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses regarding large amounts of money and other valuable items involving Ms. Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, a former Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources. On 31st August 2023, the High Court Accra refused to grant the application of the seizure freezing orders on the grounds that the confirmation of seizure application was filed out of time, that the OSP did not provide any basis for the seizure and freezing since it did not disclose the details of the transactions in the accounts, and further that the freezing order was based on public sentiment and without proper investigations. While the OSP respects the court's decision, it disagrees with the decision of the court. First, the OSP believes that the court's computation of the time limitation is, with respect, erroneous. The OSP searched 3 private residences associated with Ms. Dapaah over the course of 2 weeks. The searches and discovery were ongoing during that period. There is little doubt that the OSP filed its application within the statutory window once the search and discovery window is considered. Second, the seizure by the OSP and the Special Prosecutor's freezing order was effectuated on the very firm basis of reasonable suspicion that the amounts and bank balances were tainted property, as Ms. Dapaah prevaricated as to the sources of the amounts she reported stolen from her residence, the amounts discovered by the OSP in her residence, and the volume of transactions in her bank accounts and investments. Third, the freezing order was not based on public sentiment. Rather, it was based on court processes filed in a criminal matter before the Circuit Court Accra involving Ms. Dapaah as the complainant. Further, the freezing order was effected to aid the investigation as required by law, and not on the well, it's covered there, so I can see. You need to put that on the side for me, so I can clearly read the portion of that. Well, not on the basis of the investigation as indicated by the court. Therefore, it cannot be said that the OSP did not carry out proper investigation to warrant the freezing order. The investigation has only commenced and it is ongoing. The OSP assures the public that it will take all necessary legal steps to ensure that the seized amounts and the balances in Ms. Dapaah's bank accounts and investments are neither concealed, lost, or otherwise dissipated. Signed, Kissie Jabin, Special Prosecutor, 31st of August 2023. This was the OSP's response to what decision the court had made in favor of Madam Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, that her $590,000 US, which was found in her home, a 2.7 million Ghana cedis, which was also found in her home, 3 of the homes that were searched, should be given to the woman. So we wait to see how these things come up and how these things play up. But yesterday, something interesting happened in Parliament. There was a Commissioner of Police, COP George Alex Mensah, who appeared before the committee on a matter of a leaked tape that was plotting for the ousting of Inspector General of Police Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, IGP. And this conversation was had on the altar of partisan politics in favor of the government in power, the NPP, or the party in power. Now, for those of us who may not have an appreciation of who a commissioner of police is or a COP is. I'll run you through the ranks. You start off from a constable. Then you go to a lance corporal. Then you go to a corporal. Then you go to a sergeant. And then you rise up to an inspector. Then you go to chief inspector. Then ASP if you join the academy. And then a DSP. And then a superintendent. And then a chief superintendent. And then you rise above a chief superintendent to go back on ACP. That Assistant Commissioner of Police. Then you become a DCOP. Then you become a COP. So 13, if you started from the bottom and you're up there. We understand that as of 1992, COP George Alex Mensah was a chief inspector or so. So between then and now, you can calculate how many paces he has climbed. But there's something that is instructive. If we have the video, let's play the video. Let's listen to the video. But then, before we play the video, I want to place on record that in the past few years, our National Security Minister, Honorable Kandapa, was recorded by a lady. He was wearing pajamas and was recorded. You remember that? He was modeling in the Mark and Spencer pajamas. Our National Security Minister. If you are looking for the president, he is the man to tell you the president is here or is not there. Our national security, see something, say something. It was recorded. Senior police officers, COP superintendents, have also been recorded by another civilian, Bugri Nabu. And the question I ask is that if we are recording our security couples, and then there was a Sewa Broni recording, an expose, which we have pretended that it never happened. The security around the president, if you are a commoner, you want to even shake the hands of the president, sometimes how they push you away. So the recordings have happened because people trusted people and those trusts were betrayed. That's number one. Number two, it speaks volumes of our security. Number three, it beats my imagination how senior police officers could walk to Mr. Bugri Nabu to go and speak to him on a sensitive matter as this. To even talk about a report that was meant for the president. What is Bugri Nabu's locus in our security architecture and structure? And so if COP George Alex Mensah had succeeded with that CV that was presented to Bugri Nabu to go and lobby for him to become an IGP, if he had succeeded in that, where would his allegiance be? Would it have been towards Bugri Nabu or would it have been to the citizens of the country? I've said it before. There are things that we must not politicize in this country. Unfortunately, we have. Education, health, agric, economy, security. And from the goings at the committee, we have heard how we have compromised our security on party lines. It's regrettable. Those were the things that ACP Dr. Agojo was talking about. ACP Dr. Agojo, he was talking about them. Talking about the hierarchy of the police council, talking about the party people in there, talking about the influence of the party, and talking about how the authorities' hands were tied. In the meantime, ACP, a COP Mensah is supposed to be a member of the Police Management Board, POMAB. But he chooses to go to a party man to go and say that the IGP is not correct, and he comes on national television before a committee to say the IGP, his boss, is not correct. But he has no bad blood, and he's not undermining him. How safe and secure. So when we told the IGP to be careful, this is evident. So you have a situation, let's say on election day, or your house has been burgled, or you have been attacked, and the man you are calling to come and rescue you is a politician in a police or military or fire service or immigration or prisons uniform. And he perceives you to be on the other side. Can you trust him? The recruitment processes, the screening processes that are done. We are padding the security institutions and we think that, oh, we are doing it for our benefit. One day they will turn. Because the recording is a purely political matter. They went to have the meeting as a purely political party fanatics meeting. He said he is sympathetic to the NPP. His whole family has been of the UP tradition. There's nothing wrong with joining a political party. But at what point do you draw the line? And that you are seeking to become IGP because of party affiliation, and that you would want to help the party to win an election. And then the interior minister, who is boss of the IGP, comes to, even before this investigation, he is in parliament. He is a lawyer. He knows, making prejudicial statement. He comes to say the audio has no basis. Well, the man who recorded the audio, Mr. Bukri Nabu, says there is basis because I also wanted the president not to doubt me. So where does Mr. Ambrose Derry, our interior minister, stand? Was he thinking of party first? Was he thinking of his job as interior minister? Was he thinking about you and I, the ordinary Ghanaians who are supposed to trust and believe in him after taking that oath and taking our salary and possibly taking our ex gratia after it's done? He dismissed the report. There's nothing of merit in there. He dismissed it. Now we are hearing the revelations. The man is saying, it is my voice in there. Even though he says parts of it have been doctored, he says, it is my voice. He said, I said A, I said B, I said C, I said D. So now, the question that we ask is this: are we safe? The next policeman you meet on the street, are you sure of his party affiliation? The next soldier you meet on the street, are you sure of their party affiliation? And does that make you feel safe? Are you sure? Are you sure at all? How does that affect? That's the question. That's the question that was running through my mind. Are you sure? Are you sure? To the point where he even says that COP Yohonu is an NDC person. Then yesterday when the question was put to him, he said, I refused to answer the question. People were worried about his demeanor. And some say, oh, he was confident. Some say he was arrogant. Some say he was this, he was that. Well, those are people's opinions.
Comfort, durability, finishing, quality. Choosing sofas and beds for your home, office or hotel couldn't be easier with an exclusive range of sofas and beds in various designs and colors from Latex Foam. There is so much choice whatever your budget. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
Afi Ogwafi to afishe easy. Na daw be yeshronko. Na says the Ridge Royal Hotel kanwa na waye dead